Alright. Time to make sure everything's working. Yep, and yep. Okay. So let's get started. English. The tones, highlights. Let's just leave it all as is. It seems pretty fine. Okay, everything seems good. Continue. Yeah, all your standard crap. Alright, let's real quick, just check through this stuff. Okay, hidden object and traps are separate. Full screen borderless window, good. Alright, well, everything's good, so I guess new game. Let's go. He has developed starting to improve work. There's information I can give us. But of course, you can help us learn more about anything. Business games based on each opt out this diet. Let's opt in sending game statistics. Sure. Main story. Only choice I have. Take out the mantle of rogue traders, scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade proctorate, and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness leans over the bloodline of Von Valencius as it faces multiple threats from within its own ranks and without, as countless enemies seek to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It's you to hold the reins of the shattered proctorate and forge a new path for the Von Valencius dynasty, currently finding itself in a vortex of wars, intrigue, calamities, and near heresy. The stakes are high and rise even higher as you cross paths with terrifyingly powerful and ambitious adversaries in the darkness of the Cronus expanse. Alright. Let's go with unfair. Nah. Let's go with daring to start. Alright, continue. Return from the implementation in this game. Do you confirm your choice? I have some knowledge of the Rogue Trader system, so. Let's go. Custom character. Looks like these are just pre-builds. General Rogue Trader from scratch. Possibilities of alien forms, customizing character, choosing gender and background. Choose from a wide variety of abilities and skills, such as combat skills, social skill binding, and choose characters arcade type. Arcade type. This is Creator Rogue Trader is truly one of a kind, embark on an adventure unlike any other in the world of Warhammer 40k. Alright, portrait. Go with this dude. Tattoos. And it's 40k. Let's have some augments.
New challenge for me.
I am but a vessel for the higher purpose.
Time to reap the spoils of the battle.
Heretic.
I will delight my masters with your demise. Unleash the storm of macro cannons. Through chaos, I stride.
That is really heretic.
The destination is known.
Behold the wrath of madness.
The best defense is a good offense.
Let's go pragmatic. As funny as heretic seems, that is way heretic. What's this button do? Alright, Homeworld. Do like me some forge wood. Reveal after order. Advancement. Oh, that's nice. Persuasion, coercion, and commerce based off intelligence. So 1 of 5 chances to just succeed. I'll see what the rest is, and I might come back to this. Commander, Star Prime Lord. Sorry. Really? Or just start off as a psyker. Surprised there's nothing for like tech priest. Well, I mean, I guess that would make sense because then you'd be an explorator and not a rogue trader. times. I like the Crime Lord. Also means I don't get stuck with a stupid hat. Oh, Noble doesn't get stuck with a stupid hat either, but I don't want to be Noble. Terror stars and turn to person death thieves. Get logic. Different ecclesiarch cardinal. Price of treasures. War Imperium +5. Logic +5. Weird that two of these give the exact same effect. Deal the wrong people, someone rise of the Chaos Cult, massacre of innocents. Arrested, thoroughly interrogated using creative and violent methods. Trained partners into authority and became known as a traitor. Archetypes. Roll a ranged weapon. Let's operate. An operative using intelligent perception to find its both weaknesses and defenses and unknown say attack from an operative. Precise single attacks, defense penetration, area debuffs, consistent firing position. Operative hits target with an exploit stack, but attack deals plus those these exploit on the target. Removes all exploits from the target, increasing the target's dodge, parry, and armor by -10 plus exploits removed times perception bonus until start the operative's next turn. If the target's armor to 0, operative removes only half the exploits from the target. Oh, cool. Looks like if I want to do intelligence and perception based, what I generally like to do, it looks like operative is the way to go. Characteristics. Available points 30. Okay, so to get my bonus up, to boost that to 40. Looks like that'd be good. Void ship. Wow, so many options. Okay, persuasion, tech use. So you can get these three onto int at some point. Who cares about fellowship? Wish the origin buffed ballistic skill rather than weapon skill. Yeah, maybe it'll come in handy at some point. Well, let's get started. Oh, once it loads. To the upper decks. Hello.
An excellent place for contemplation.
About current events, scares me.
One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
So for reply with dips and that's simple on one decks. I think this access can be tiring at times.
I believe there are those among us who share that sentiment. But such is our duty, is it not? To overcome base weaknesses and desires, so as to excel in our service to the God Emperor, the master of humanity. Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencius, at your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
The last name is Stubbs. Okay. A little more about them. Words to highlight when they first appear in text. Scroll style. See the desired highlighted term again. I know quite a bit of Warhammer 40k stuff, so probably won't need that too much. If anyone does have questions, just ask, and I can either highlight it or talk about it. My name is Lash.
My regards, Master. Or should I say, von Valencius, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of Her Ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty.
Curious Tire, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities?
To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
Tell me about the one on whose ship I have found myself.
I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back. Especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that Her Ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities.
So yeah, I'm one of the Rogue Trader's heirs, so there's another candidate.
There is. And you will meet him soon enough.
Assume you have some goal in mind when you decide to seek me out. Let's address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far.
Right.
The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Alright. Share the person recently brought up our flagship. A storm is brewing over the movement. And carefully drive the spot you chose in the symbol will appear in the closest accessible location. So we're grabbing something important to share with her heir if she gets a chance. Interactable objects. Some objects in the cabin can be interacted with in a special way. They are marked with specific icons. I'm going to let you study objects as will transfer your character to neighboring locations or launch a small event. Icons become visible when your character is standing close enough to an interactable object. With the left mouse button on the icon performs associated action. Some interactive items, such as doors or chests, are not always marked with icons. The cursor changes when you hover over them. However, your cursor over the object, the cursor changes, the object is interactable. Tab to highlight objects your character can interact with. Looks good. Real wood, ooh. Resource and create battle board, void chip.
Let us not dawdle.
Save.
One of the Fon Valencia's trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a
Thank
look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening?
Oh no, the servitors. On a road.
Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
Run, says the guy standing perfectly still.
Challenges make the spoils that much sweeter.
Destroy the out-of-control servitor. Spy in the good and darkness of the far future. You have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system of Warhammer 3. Stop screen and start the battle. The malfunctioning servitor is on the very bottom, except for that crew officer. Battle begins. Oh! Well, never mind, it's at the top. Movement combat. All battles in the game are turn-based and take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Click select to highlight an area and double-click left mouse to move the character there. Movement points determine how far a character can move on their turn. One movement point corresponds to one cell on the battlefield. Moving diagonally is more costly. Every second diagonal cell uses 2 movement points. Beginning of each turn, movement points are restored to the maximum value. Note that once a character starts moving, the action can no longer be cancelled. +3 exploits. Stones deducted after damage deflection every time the character is hit. Damage deducted whenever enemy hits target. Injury. He receives bonus MP and an additional attack per turn. 3 stacks of exploit.
Who, if not me?
Actions in any turn. When you're ready to end your turn, press space or click the end turn button on the bottom right of the screen. %50 chance to do 11 to 17 damage. Good shot.
I refuse.
Character has just missed. Increase hit chance, equip your character with a decent weapon and place him on a vantage point. Abilities and talents that improve the weapon skill character will help you move more often in close combat. Improved marksmanship, learn talents, and increase perception and ballistic skill characteristic. Okay, so I can't move after shooting. Good to know. Hey, what's this thing's weapon skill?
I'll make it happen.
85% chance to hit.
On it. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Critical hit. Just land a critical hit that deals increased damage equal to the character's critical damage stat. Character's critical damage is 150%. Normal damage by default, however, certain talents, effects, and abilities can increase. Each weapon has its own critical damage stat, which is added to the character's total stat value during attack. Nice. This thing just does not miss, does it?
I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally.
Crap. Attack down. Characters with melee weapons block adjacent enemies' abilities up. Best believe it. They like
What
this.
Suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
Alright. Crap, no one's allowed to enter the premises. Stations.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
Alright. I'm not using M to orientate yourself. Surge's head are still smoldering. It seemed the cause of malfunction was the short-circuiting of the motive force. Tarantula sentry gun, constructed with the blessing of the Adeptus Mechanicus using the standard template constructed in the manufactorum of... yeah, whatever. Lehman Rush battle tank. Reclaimed and restored by the grace of the God Emperor, and first breached the capital walls during the pacification of
I always
that
have
place.
a backup plan.
Violet alloy, which upon closer exam turns out to be a handcrafted object. Symbols carved or printed tool are visible.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Like sharp zoom and zoom, look closely you can discern a strange, barely perceptible glow below the surface. Massive gold amalgam and a spray with sparkling particles. Stone pestle is no doubt solid, but the surface shimmers and changes hue as if someone has kept a piece of turbulent sea within the rock. Job those are animal sea coral. porous surface pit, a sign that it has been underwater. Gray-green crystal with white veins, although hum can be heard coming from the artifact. I feel like I should be able to identify those objects, but I'm drawing a blank right now.
Is there money to be made?
That is simply
Oh,
irrational,
here we go.
Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
So let's go to sentience, twist so just disbelief.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
Survey the present president of Eldorad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of a parchment-like skin stretched over a lightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and bone. Nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tick, and jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Eldorad, Theodore von Valencia's features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Eldorad. Behind the two of them, you see two more men. One is a gray-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is standing in the contents of his dad's slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manners of weapons.
Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer.
Tries to betray you, yourselves predatory and impressive.
Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crew sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Character skills reflect the knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogue automatically initiate passive skill tests. If such a test succeeds, new information will be revealed or a hidden dialogue option will unlock. Characters traveling with allies and party members with the highest score in the passive skills selected for each given passive skill test. If it's spirits and disappearing at night, I think the warp option is correct. It might be like witchcraft or some crap. Some warpy stuff. So, ways to confirm whether what is happening on Aeon 6 is witchcraft or not might cost several seconds to do so, but it will give us the answer.
Thorough, but presumptuous. It took me a great deal to find one psyker who could serve me well for many years. Yet you speak of several.
Well, they don't have to be good psychers.
sanctioned psychers are rare and valuable instruments of the Golden Throne? Or do you suggest that we use heretics, who are an offense to the God Emperor's light? It would be rather careless of you to utter such profanity in the presence of his faithful servants.
Wow. Someone has to stick up their butt. Gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Eldrad.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
Get wrecked.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
As he takes leave out, spraying you know. Bye, dude. Also, I was totally thinking of non-sanctioned suckers. So not you who sent for me?
You have seeded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness. Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all who toil in the Emperor's service. Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lick-spittlery, compulsion to please. I value none of these things. From the moment my envoys came for you, the terms of your existence changed.
Oh, dang.
My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
Okay.
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
What up? Does it mean there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate.
Really, he seemed kind of like crap, but whatever.
Bloodright alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
I hear correctly, Master Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voigtvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Wonder what happened. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
Wow, being really dumb. Where is your ship headed?
The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor.
Really? Only 2 other rogue traders? No, there's a lot more than that.
I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Ethelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
I have no more questions.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Alright, combat time. Well, this is one heck of an assassination
Make an
attempt.
example out of you.
All of you will bleed.
Well, dang, Theodora, 229 hit points. All combatants acting turns and orders turn by initiative roll. Or turns split on the left side of the screen from bottom to top. Character at the very bottom goes first, and then the one above them, and so on. Never mind, this can't be right. Watch 85%. Agree that some of the information isn't correct. There's no way her stats are this low to have that high of a thing. Mort over here, though. What the heck? An ambush spell begins.
I can handle this.
My place is at the fore.
Weapon at the ready. For the glory of the Imperium!
My ears are ringing.
Out of my way!
Ow. Discover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover that the character will have behind a mark with a shield or a shield with a skull. When standing close to the character, will automatically take up an advantage position. In this case, the chance that an enemy attacks will hit the cover and not the character behind them increases. The character will not receive a bonus of attack from side and not protected by the current cover.
Taking calculated risk is my second nature. Your end was inevitable.
Another crit. Nice. That's all I can do.
Who if not me?
I serve the ruinous powers! Death to the weak!
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
And your doom.
Get liquefied.
You target. I took care of this one.
Death to the heretics!
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Character has received a temporary positive attack from allies. Those effects enhance your character's capability in combat in some way. More about the effect you have gained, however your cursor over the effect of that context is the character portrait. Kill them. Theodora. Plus 50% ballistic skill until the end of combat. Okay.
On it. Another enemy down.
Another critical hit.
Just a minor setback. Follow my lead. Reduced to dust.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive.
Alright.
Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
What's happening?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
Seemed a lot more coordinated than warp madness.
Oh, the casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer Prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
Incident with rampaging servitors may be connected to what is transpiring now.
Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
I always keep my options open.
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Okay.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, hold yourself together.
Something up with Mort? Or is something up with Conrad?
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Alright.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineering regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Must provide immediate assistance to those on the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop this wave from spreading.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
Wait, is Eldathred a psyker? Okay.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
And Theodore looks at me.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers.
Yep, Eldathrad's a psyker. Confirmed.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
Here in the bay, Lord Captain.
Then move out! Mort, come.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
I shall make do. Lead the way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
I didn't do it. Frickin' traitor.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Two-Faced Gun, you're the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Why are you doing this?
Why? Because I am following an order. What is happening on this ship right now has been in the making for a very long time. All that remains is to obtain what my master sent me for. The Warrant of Trade.
What are you working for, like ZH or some crap? How's it inbred? You're blood-toothed in for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
Coercion succeed. Let's go modify difficulty modifier plus 65. Okay. So yeah, Warp's blessed, and this dude's almost certainly working for Zeech. It's the only way something would be so convoluted. Sorry, it's like an excuse to even have your apathy, you sordid and wretched piece of garbage.
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
Or are you Chaos Undivided? Because you're actually speaking about gods.
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench von Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
And produces a strange weapon, a blade without a handle that shimmers blue in the light. Heresy. Blade flashes in dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous. Your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a single urge. Go to the gate. To the gate, go to the gate. Try the voices in your head. Get out, I am not your puppet. Your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you into your feet, making you take a step towards the gate looming over the illuminated by the corrupted weapon, which led to a warp entity invading your mind. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torch twitches slightly. It's the servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. It turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Available dialogue options require making a skill test. Unlike with past tests, which are made automatically, in this case, you can decide whether or not to select an option. Consequences of which will depend on the result of the associated test. Success or failure affects how the dialogue will develop. Depending on the context, you might change the course of the conversation, alter the character's attitude, or perform an action whose consequences will only appear apparent later. Over the dialogue option requires a skill test, and you'll see a tooltip detailing your chance of success. The number after the skill's name indicates the difficulty of this test. Once your character starts traveling with allies, permanent score. Get it. Difficulty monitor plus 65, so pretty much guaranteed to succeed. Examine the device. Carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is a strange alloy that was using material from machine components, some which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. Ooh. Serving the gate begins to move. Screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, close to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The server's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. Whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after it wounded you with his blade did not go away. The Metroid source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Examine the sentinel. These are you're used to. Its skin covering a stitched copper thread and has metal hinges in place at the standard joints. It seems that the creative signal did everything to ensure the sacrifice that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of any ordinary automatons. Look back.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Frame that can be used as a weapon. Brown helps you find at least something that can work as a weapon. Your voice searches the main. The chamber entering completely empty and in perfect working condition. Near your broken panel, protruding piece of rebar in sight. Well, I guess place your hand in the sentinel's maw. And jaws clampering your hand, puncturing your skin, sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the server's throat, and immediately you hear humming. Server mode start up, and the pump stirs into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several minutes pass, Sentinel's jaw remain closed, and you're beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe you can close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
Siren's quiet voice is coming from, cracking like sad. Is it Sentinel, the cogitator? Is it the figment of your mind? Or is you can clearly hear every word? Who is this?
Genetic code identified. Child of House von Valencius.
Get the voice again. This time you realize it was coming from the two speakers built into the Sentinel's shoulders. You hear a displeased grunt in your mind, as if Larkin has sent something that is not to its liking. Yes, Sentinels, treasured certain my life in the safety of the warrant. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just quickly. It would seem that entity calling your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm. Suck it.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Get wrecked.
Well, there is still another way.
Those gates smash support and the thing they protect. Those doors are made of heavy metal. Old injury. Injury that wasn't healed in time. It can be healed with Medikit, but it requires passing a Medikit skill test to succeed. Meaning you reduce the character's resolve and can cause traumas. It's avoid try to use Medikit with the injury.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
And then I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant trade and bestow upon them and them to see the great mission. Be the paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost. To triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily through the road of thorns.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
Man, 70. Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Need contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Master, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Alright.
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
Alright. Need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Relays quickly. Okay, cool. Leave me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
Alright. Game starting to unfold, you'll see a notification top screen indicating that the status of your current objective has been updated and information has been added to your journal. You can open the journal by pressing J or clicking blah blah. Journal is used to keep track of current events and guide your character on their journey. The quest tab tracks the progress of the main story. Here you can find information about any quests you have accepted and their current status. Use the journal to help yourself understand where to go in the next steps of your venture. The rumors and contracts section also contains more information you'll learn more about later. To reach the warrant, simple orders the Sentinel Cogitator will lock the chamber. Road. Lower Hand Road, basically. So we find Elrod.
I always have a backup plan.
Master, What? Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this?
There's no much foreign policy for it. Sweating in one of his sleeves because torn is so blue. He stands firm, his gaze demanding. Conrad Voyager is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
Didn't take revenge on Theodore for something, and he is clearly serving the unholy gods of the warp.
Serving the gods of the war? Kunrad is a heretic. Oh, Voidfair, you void rat. Madness. And this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt.
Voyager openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny.
Saint's blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster.
Yep.
You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Thank you. Training injuries. While fighting, your character can lose some of their wounds. Your character has suffered an injury after being attacked by Kunra. This happens when the character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds within the one round. The exact percentages of wounds a character must lose for this to happen may vary depending on the difficulty of the game you choose. Injuries reduce the character's resolve. The character initially suffers an injury is considered a fresh injury during the first 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds pass, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. Fresh injury can be healed using medkit without passing any skill tests. Old injuries can be healed with medkit, but they require the character administering treatment to pass a Medicaid skill test to succeed. Use medikits to restore wounds and heal injuries. Note that when a character loses all their wounds, they fall unconscious. Once combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished automatically, but any injuries that they may have sustained remain. Those can be healed with medkit. Medkits can only be used by characters that have the field medic feature, base skill Medicaid, or have taken Medicaid skill advancement at least once. Whenever a character uses Medicaid Vow, Medicaid determines the number of wounds that will be restored as a result. Alvaro can heal your character's injuries. Click left mouse on Alvaro's portrait, select the medkit on the panel at the bottom left screen, and use it on your character. Alvaro needs to be standing right next to your character for him to administer the treatment. You get new items. All items are added to your inventory. You can open it by pressing I or clicking on the icon on the right side of the screen. Inventory screen, weapons, armor, and other items can be equipped or interacted with in other ways. Medkits can be used to replenish wounds and heal injuries. Hit throughout the eye.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis and weigh every step. Sometimes, though, you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day. Let me help.
I owe you a debt.
The sooner we start. This wound will make a fine scar.
I'll make sure to return the favor one day. Fate and fortune favor the bold.
Alright. Equip new weapons or armor, open your inventory from I and double click left. Mouse button on the item. Alternatively, you can just press button and drag the item to the right slot. Become high level once you start dragging that. View the parameters of an item, however, press over the icon. Information will appear. Another way to view stuff is that. You can switch between compartments using the arrows at the top of the inventory screen or clicking left mouse button. Item descriptors contain comparisons with the corresponding items already from the character.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, Apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the Navigator and the Master Helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the Navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Voxcast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warren Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
Her one of Theodora's Voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can
What can we expect to find the
ship from
Navigator's
veering
Sanctum?
off. During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
Navigator's Sanctum, very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Alright.
To arms! Your Emperor won't
Combat begins
save
with
you!
tactical phase, during which characters cannot attack or take other actions, but may try to take up advantage of position. Select the character by clicking left mouse on portrait at the top of the screen, then click left mouse on the cell you want the character to move to. Red cells are areas in the cells to the character. During the tactical phase, each character in the party move up to their maximum win points, but cannot position themselves adjacent to an enemy. Press space to start the battle.
Death to non-believers! Chaos guides me!
Get wrecked. Combat abilities characters differ depending on their archetype. Buildable abilities are located at the bottom right of the screen on the abilities panel. To read the full descriptor of the abilities, cover cursor over its icon or click left right mouse button. Click left mouse button on the icon usability. For the ability used, you will get to review its estimated outcome. Covering cursor over a character or an area of your choosing, you will also see the abilities area effect. Each character in this area will have a number displayed over them, denoting the probability of being successfully affected. So abilities affect the ability is effectively guaranteed to work, the ability icon is displayed instead of a number. When you're ready to use the ability, click left mouse button again to confirm your choice. Adventures, your character gain the ability talents. Okay.
I'm ready for whatever comes.
See, this dude right here has 16 hit points. And they analyze to do more damage.
I'll make it happen. Your end was inevitable.
Alright.
Out of my way!
I serve the ruinous powers.
I've suffered worse.
Lard's abilities. Your new companion's warrior. Lard specializes in melee combat and drawing it attacks. Charges unique warrior ability. It works only when they are using melee weapons, not considered an attack action. Charge to close the distance between you and the enemy and deal damage. Click mouse button on the ability second, choose the direction to charge in. Enemy in the right path of charge, will attack them, will still be able to use an attack action afterwards. If you have not used one this turn. No, the charge can only be used with characters 2 or more cells away from the target. Characters using a melee weapon require the character to be adjacent to the enemy. To make a melee attack, click left mouse button strike ability down the enemy you wish to attack. Like single shots, melee attacks hit automatically with no need for a roll. The enemy will try to dodge and parry the attack they are using a melee weapon of their own. Melee weapons can be used to make area attacks. All creatures in the area suffer damage unless they succeed on a dodge test or a parry test they armed with melee weapon. Damage dealt by melee weapons depends on the weapon's parameters and the attacker's strength score.
Indeed. The more the better.
Get wrecked. For one round, the Navy officer and their allies in the 3-cell radius gain +2 deflection for each archaea type taken by the Navy officer. This cannot be forcibly moved or penetrated.
I will do my duty.
Such is the will of chaos.
Another enemy down.
At your beck and call. I took care of this one.
Nice. Attack of opportunity. Characters with melee weapons can make an attack of opportunity if an opponent is in adjacent cell initiates move. Can also be triggered by some abilities. Characters with melee weapons, including members of your party, can make attacks of opportunity. Chance to hit and deal damage is calculated just like a normal attack. Experience points. You can advance the level of your character and companions. For building in battles, exploring the Chronos Expanse, and completing quests earns you experience points. Once you have accumulated enough experience, your character gains a new level. Click on the arrow symbol on the portrait to open the level up screen. Each level gained offers your character new progression options, which include new abilities, talents, skill improvements, and other enhancements. Your companions gain new levels at the same time as your character, even if they're not including the active part during your journeys. You can always increase their level later. Alright. Skill upgrade. So here it's possible to increase character's skills. higher the skill score, the easier it will be to pass corresponding skill tests. It's like tech use. Set as middle. His interface cancel. Apply. Built athletics.
I have a nose for profit and a taste for adventure.
Body glove, armor 50%. Dodge 40% of average enemy attacks in this chapter. Reduces incoming damage by average enemy attacks in this chapter by negative 10%. Can't be equipped by this character. Medicate or field medic or base skill medicate. Collecting loot. Defeating enemies have no further need for their foreign belongings, but you can discover valuable trophies among them. Click left mouse button to defeat enemies and inspect what is left of them. Items on the right side of the trophy collection window go to your inventory. Such items can be used or equipped by your characters. Items on the left are packed up as cargo and sent to your ship, which can later be used to trade with various factions. You can move trophies from one side of the window to the other by double-clicking left mouse button on them, or clicking or dragging them over using left mouse button. So you can use buttons to bottom to mass transfer all items from cargo to your inventory and vice versa.
Let us not dawdle.
Alright, to the Navigator's Sanctum. Here's a map of your void ship. It consists of several parts between which you can travel. Some parts are not yet available. Over time, your character will be able to access them. But if it's an active part of the void ship, to move there. To the Navigator's Sanctum. To stop them from poking the Navigator, because that is a very bad idea.
The Navigator's Sanctum is directly along the passageway. I pray to the God Emperor that we are not too late.
Purple warpy stuff is not giving me much
money to be made?
attention.
And so, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
You okay?
Master, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
You okay?
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
Entity in your consciousness shrieks and crawls in deeper, while scraping against the walls of your mind, as the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. Diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud.
Okay.
And you are von Valancius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
Nice to meet you.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
Voice vaguely familiar to you. Is that like Mort or whatever?
That's Edelthrat.
Oh, Edelthrat.
Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Okay.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
How do you know who I am?
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
Okay. You flinch at the seer's words. No doubt she's referring to the nightmares the torturers inflicted upon your body and mind. Muscles contract involuntarily after stealing themselves once more from the inevitable pain. Ooh, backstory. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
Oof.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
Fair enough. Must save the navigator as well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity.
Okay.
But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Alright. The deer has joined your party, which now consists of several characters. Select one character, select multiple characters, click and drag box around. Select the entire party and issue commands all just once, press backspace. Destroy is filled, don't keep our master.
The Emperor is with us!
You'll make a suitable sacrifice! Hold on! I serve the ruinous powers!
Crush the feeble!
Brace yourself.
You can use the hologram to gauge the effectiveness of your team's actions in combat before taking them. And this will place the character's hologram there. Ability or single shot action, see the expected outcome. The action will be displayed as if used from the hologram's location, lets you assess whether you have picked an effective position for the action you're planning to take. Hologram also lets you see if the enemy will be within your line of sight if you move to the selected cell. From your choice and execute the clue. Raise map by anywhere to fill it or press 16 key to cancel it.
I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done.
Who even taught you to fight like this?
Oh, oops, I overpenetrated. Careful, companions can get hurt by your burst shots or area attacks. So while you're friendly fire, keep an eye on the trigger shot in the area of effective abilities. Alright, my bad. I thought the bullet would stop.
Death to the weak! Ah!
I bring ruin.
Deer's abilities. Deer is a psyker and an operative. As an operative, she can study opponents and identify their weaknesses, and her psyker abilities allow her to deal damage to them. As the enemy is an operative skill, which applies the exploit effect to all enemies within the observer's operative's line of sight. The operative can also use his ability against a specific target and inflict several stacks of this effect. The higher the operative intelligence bonus is, the more exploit stacks will be inflicted. When the operative hits a target with an exploit applied to them, the attacker deals additional damage. The amount of extra damage depends on the target number of exploit stacks and the operative's perception. Whose weakness is an operative ability which they can use against a single enemy who's under the exploit effect. This ability reduces the enemy's dodge, parry, and armor. Reduction depends on the number of active exploits on the enemy and the operative's perception. Deer is armed with special stats that allows the psyker to unleash psychic powers against enemies. In the future, you will encounter stats that only a psyker versed in a certain discipline can use. For example, you might find a stat that lets a psyker use Inferno, but to do so, they must have the pyromancy psychic discipline learned.
Not the Scryer's job. On it. Stop it!
Leave comment. You can make it destroy party members' wounds, battle, cheat, and injury, or get rid of certain negative effects. She's injured or afflicted with such an effect if the character has a mecha equipped, so I can always win. I really need to stop in the Alvard. So it's kind of bad. Because only will use by characters at the base of the field medic feature, basic Medicaid, or have taken Medicaid skill advancement at least one. This Medicaid holds 2 or more charges, with 1 charge being consumed per use. When it's used, Medicaid disappear from the panel on the bottom of the screen, so remember to equip your character with new Medicaid regularly. As a healing, just like most actions, spends the character's action points in combat.
That is not my destiny.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. It will be done.
Reduced to dust.
Alright. The creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. Navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the 2 dark and gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, 2 ordinary eyes as well as the 3rd one that sits in the center of its forehead.
I believe Master Vespider still lives. Well, the servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive.
Address the navigator. Hey, are you alive?
Your time is short.
Charles barely able to leave his head, half open his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from the disposal of the 3rd eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the box grill at the base of the bizarre trail. It's unclear how the navigator is able to produce human speech. Are you alright?
Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn.
And then we're going to body starts thrashing in place, lurches forward, and pulls back onto the seat. Then thrusts forward again as its bones crack and the skin tears open. The fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated but leans as far forward as he can. His layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming 2 hideous, screaming mouth-like pits.
It came from beyond! His body is not his!
Oh no. Dara's screams echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator, succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption.
Its march thunders under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me.
Monkey continues to convulse violently in his seat, streaking and cackling. When his fit stops abruptly, his face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from the 3rd eye has turned from a trickle into a stream, mixed with the blood coming out of his nose, and there's a purple swelling around the eye.
Run. Flee from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp. But it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help.
Who torments you?
The match. Kneel before the ascent of a new champion. When the rite is complete, the shell will burst, and thousands of Moors will accept the sacrifice offered to the edge of daybreak by the bringer of twilight, the one marked by the will of the gods.
Each word rings through your head like the tolling of bells, as countless voices have joined in, screaming into your ears. The moment you lose your bearings, this unholy chorus must be trying to confound you with a noise not meant for this world. What is that supposed to mean?
A rite. A sacrifice offered. Oh. My heart tells me that Kunrad was not deterred by his defeat in the warrant chamber.
What? Kunrad betrayed Lady Theodora? Oh, but how is that? How? He was as loyal as a dog. And I didn't hear a thing, I swear.
Navigator.
The footfalls of the bringer of twilight are veiled by the will of his masters. Tear out your eyes. See who is to become the champion's servant, for you need them no longer.
Navigator is still alive, but very slow. What do we do now?
The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Edelthrad and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the servo skull relayed to us earlier.
Alright.
Vespidas, good luck. And thank you.
Navigator does not give her response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelids, and the box at the base of the chair is blowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of the otherworldly laughter.
I always keep my options open.
Locked door. How helpful. To the officer's deck.
Ship's as good as ours. It's all over for you.
Rip.
I shall pity not your enemies. I shall heed not their pleas.
Somebody shoot these.
Shall betray not your tenets, nor stray one step from them. Take not your gaze from me. Leave me not without your grace.
I told you he would protect us.
My god. My light. My emperor.
So I hear warrior turns to face you, her eyes, dark eyes blazing. The weapon quivers in her hand, and for a brief moment it seems she's not going to stop and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees, starting with you.
Sister Argenta! Sister Argenta, it is a relief to see you. We require all the forces we can muster.
Your face. It is unfamiliar. Who are you?
Those weapon scans are small, part of intense gaze, and such set from you. Ashbon Valencius, Lord Captain's heir.
The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneers of heresy. The eyes of comrades ignite with the archenemy's hunger. I will do what I must to halt the advance of the dark forces. But in these dire moments, little can be trusted. So I must know, why are you here?
Sister, I beg of you. Now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed Master of Whispers. Edelthrad the Heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report on our success. We are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do just that.
Celestial is right. There is no time for talk.
Very well. We may leave it at that. For now. I cannot wait to rain righteous fire down upon each and every heretic.
I was a warrior of the Adeptus Sororitas doing aboard a rogue trader ship. Your order serves the Ecclesiarch, do they not?
Sister Argenta is a guest of the Lord Captain. And that story deserves its own time and conversation.
Enough idle chatter. I am where I must be, and that will suffice.
What's happening on the officer's deck?
Massacre, my lord. And heretics are not just killing the crew. Some kind of blight is sweeping through the decks, filling the air. I saw people going mad the moment they breathed it in, screaming about seeing their dead comrades, tearing out their eyes. I implore you, my lord, be on your guard.
It's the main hall of the deck.
Through this door. I shall join you, for it is my duty to the God Emperor to destroy this heresy.
Alright.
We will follow. For now, we will hold off any heretics who might try to crawl in through the cracks to join the main assault. And we'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. Those villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a Tectomat with us. But we'll see what we can do without one.
Good to hear it. Sister?
Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path through fire and darkness.
Alright. Closed. Block of attack. Possibly open with the right tool. Well maintained sniper rifle. Box dispenser module. Receive a new, more efficient weapon for your character. To upgrade your equipment, open the inventory and you can either hold blah blah. You'll find a person you so do not forget to upgrade your character's equipment in order to make them more powerful. So a higher damage maximum.
Keep your wits about you.
Throwing up movement inch is what?
Always keep your eye on the price.
Unless the hole through the door, large enough for a person to get through.
Let us not dawdle.
Just a way to open it. Okay, just open it.
The whispers are getting louder.
Surrender to the dark powers!
I think this will be good.
Anything else? But of course. Be gone!
Get zapped. Argento's ability. Argento's a warrior with Adeptus Sororitas and a soldier. She's an expert with burst ranged weapons and weapons that deal damage in an area. Another of Argento's strengths is her mobility in combat. Running gun is a unique soldier upgrade ability. Using grants the soldier extra movement points and reduces the cost of their next attack by 1 action point. The soldier will also suffer a -10 penalty to ballistic skills for this attack. Running gun allows the soldier to perform an additional attack with a ranged weapon, which is a handy tool if you want to make more than one attack with them on their turn. Reveling Slaughter is a soldier ability that's going to be used for each 3 enemies in the soldier kills in a single battle. Each activation of this ability increases soldier ballistic skill, critical hit chance, and critical damage. This effect stacks and lasts until the end of combat. Switch up to weapon lets you make burst attacks. Unlike single shots, burst fire requires you to select a direction rather than a specific target. Burst attacks are particularly effective against closest enemies. When performing a burst attack, the character fires several successive shots in different directions. Most of these shots are concentrated in the center of the selected attack zone. Therefore, the more enemies there are in the center of this area, the more of them will be damaged if the attack is successful. All shots fired after the first one are less accurate and have a higher chance of deviating from the central trajectory. Careful, burst fire shots can't hit allies or stay in the direction of the attack. Military party members can use abilities called heroic acts and destroy measures in battle level. Changes depending on the action of the character. Momentum gauge reaches 175 or more, any party member can use a heroic act. Momentum drops below 25. Party will gain the ability to use desperate measures, which have a number of negative effects. In each combat, the momentum of the party starts at 100. Next momentum of the party is 200, minimum 0. So an additional 3-minute momentum for each enemy that is either in a 5-cell radius around the sister battle or was hit by her this turn. Sister battle hits demon or chaos cultist, the additional amount of momentum doubles. Rip to Mr. 5% who got killed anyways.
I'll do it.
Death to non-believers!
However, full and partial cover gives the opportunity to avoid enemy attacks. Full cover given a skull and shield reduces the chance to be hit by 60%. Partial cover reduces by 35%. At the same time, the chance to hit a character behind cover may vary depending on the difficulty of the game shows. Cover can be destroyed by melee attacks, air attacks, and other abilities. Cover has a durability bar above it. Single shot can penetrate through any cover.
I'll see to it personally. Your end was inevitable.
Chaos guides me.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Was that you?
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury! Doubt is for the weak.
I am your doom!
I'll make it happen. Another enemy down. Who if not me?
Out of my way!
Victory is imminent. I took care of this one.
I know what is to come. Anything is?
Faith without deeds is worthless. Guided by faith. I'll do it.
Dang.
I'll make it happen. Your end was inevitable. This is intriguing.
Machine right set. Sacred oil and cognitive confuse the primitive, provide an additional opportunity to call it machine parent and interact with advice, an expendable item. Multi-key. Universal locking pick provides an additional opportunity to open a lock. Machine spirit vaultlet. Guns. That's the demon engine heart. Why is that just laying around?
Is there money to be made?
Skill test and interaction with the environment. Open the jam door, click back on the character. The highest attack use will make the skill test. If this test failed, the doors will remain closed, partially bad result of attack use. Tests can cause the door to become permanently stuck and impossible to open.
I always have a backup plan.
So,
Keep your wits about you. Just as I planned.
character is about to make a tech use skill test. In dialogue and during exploration, you will often make various skill tests, and the result might determine how successful your character efforts are. Make hidden dialogue options appear or reveal new information. The success of the test is determined by rolling a 100-sided die. Each skill test has a difficulty of up to 100, including negative values. To succeed, you must roll a value equal to or less than the sum of both the stated difficulty and the value of the skill used for the test. For example, you're attempting a test with a difficulty of -10. Character skill test, tech use skill score is 40. 40 minus 10, 30, therefore to succeed one. On the tech use skill test, you must roll 30 or less. Any result above 30 will mean failure. Note that difficulty is calculated from greater to lower values. The greater the difficulty value, the easier it is to pass the test. It is easier to succeed on a difficulty 40 test than on a difficulty 10 test. The higher a character's skill score, the easier it is for them to succeed on tests. Skill scores depend on the character's respective characteristic score, skill advancement, and level ups. Any bonuses the character equipment might offer. Succeed on various tests during gameplay, develop different skills for your character and their companions. Prairie's gloves. Very gains +3 bonus to tech use. Nice. And Melta charges. Fun.
I always keep my options open.
Blow the door up. Wasn't there an option earlier to like tech use the door?
I better myself through my service.
Okay. Level up. Expose weakness. Some features that are arcade type. Moves all exposed from target, decreasing target's dodge, parry, and armor by 10 plus X points removed. Times perception bonus. Start the operative the next turn. Would you reduce target's armor to 0? The operative moves in half the exploits. Endure. Till the warrior's next turn, all incoming damage reduced by a warrior's toughness divided by 2, and the warrior gains plus toughness bonus. Temporary wounds. Oh, awareness. So that was going to be athletics for some stupid reason. Expose weakness. Revel and Slaughter. Soldier immediately removes a winded effect until the end of combat. Soldier gains the following bonuses: plus 10 ballistic skill, plus 5 plus 2 times agility bonus critical damage, plus agility bonus critical hit chance. This ability becomes available after the soldier kills 3 enemies. The kill counter is not reset between rounds.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Baptism of St. Druze.
I always get the job done.
Click officer's helmet. Grants plus 5% armor. Actually, you had the endurability. Here, have a helmet. Steel has blocked the path of the ellipse. You'll have to look for another way to Eldra. Oh, this crowd.
Over there!
When the cogitator torn from its sharp blades are stacked in a rough semblance of a barricade. Another multi. Shoot something? I can't see a thing. Oh, I can't see. The roar of flames rings in your ear, and the choking smoke makes you cough and gasp for air. You instantly cry from the scorching heat wiping your face. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in the raging wall of fire. You're surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming. You distinctly hear the sound of footsteps. And then you see the figure walking out of the fire towards you. It's Theodora von Blinkus. Don't think so.
Lost, my heir.
The person is calm, terrifying but sober. Someone whose body is engulfed in a inferno. Her hands is resting on the hill of her power sword, the others raised in the binding gesture. Theodora in quotation marks.
An apparition. A sorceress. Apparition. Trickery of the warp.
Sister, you will lower your weapon. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous.
However, it does not seem too long. It's confident. He's staring at the traitor and you notice muscle in his cheek twisting. This is impossible.
I doubt you are aware of the limits of what is possible. For your worldview is but an iota of what a rogue traitor knows and sees. But I can tell that you would like me to share that knowledge with you. That power over reality.
Begone, Zeech.
I can lead you out of these flames, show you a path, rid you of pain, and give you a weapon so that you may defeat your enemies. Decide.
Mouth begins to salivate. Each word Theodora speaks is like music to hear. It's an entity that now dwells in the deepest roots. Your mind is pleading, begging, demanding that you give her an immediate answer. An answer can be nothing other than acceptance.
Do not listen to this abomination. If there is naught but his light in your heart, if you are resolute in your faith, then step into the flames. The Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred by either darkness or deceitful promises. Nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul.
To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace.
Really? You're not seeing this?
The people! The survivors from the middle decks! We must help the crew! Lead them out! Find a way around!
Voice the screen from the Zora as if there were a body of water between you and them.
Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Edel. What are we waiting for?
Someone's characters about to make tough decisions based on their values, interests, and goals. Such decisions affect their convictions. It can develop in 3 directions: dogmatic, iconoclast, heretical. Each includes 5 ranks. Higher the rank, the more zealously the character follows his convictions, and the more noticeably the world around them reacts to their actions and decisions. Promotion through the ranks of each of the three directions opens up access to new dialogue lines, events, and unique abilities, and also changes the attitude of others towards your character. Also, some items can only be equipped by characters with certain convictions. When the conviction branches reaches rank 3 votary, it becomes the character's main focus. That happens, the other two conviction branches cannot be raised above rank 2 adherent. Character allies have convictions of their own as well. Well, I want to do that because I'm pretty certain the fire is actually a illusion. Get the people off the bridge. And be gone, Zeech. No. Be gone. Get the people off the bridge, and don't leave my people in harm's way. Look away and the illusion breaks. The unbearable heat instantly makes your skin burn, and the voices of people beyond the shroud of smoke grow stronger and hopeful. Once you and your companions rush back, barking orders and guiding the survivors. In your determination, you completely forget about Theodora, and when you turn your head, you see nothing but the bellowing fire.
Where did it go? Thing that was standing in front of us in the fire? I could have sworn.
To the same place all unholy visions go. Do you want to follow it, witch?
Keep your wits about you.
Crash the platform, okay?
The Emperor favors me today.
Impossible. An alternative way to run view must be found.
Is there money to be made?
Too late. We are too late.
Keep out the fire trap now.
Edelthrad and his escort never made it here, which would be even worse.
Or they could be fighting on the bridge as we speak, without us.
My lord, I beg your pardon for interrupting. The people are asking for orders. You came back to save us, so now we will follow you through thick and thin.
Nice.
To the bridge. If Edelthrad is there, then he requires immediate assistance. I say there is one thing that I find most troubling. The Lord Captain's Voxcasts. They are still coming in, even though it would make sense for Lady Theodora to be on the bridge right now, at the head of the counter-assault. I feel uneasy. What if the Lord Captain is besieged in her own chambers? With your permission, I suggest that we confirm for ourselves that she is not. We can use the same elevator that Lady Theodora and Mort headed for earlier.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust. I always have a backup plan.
Here. What's that?
Loot. Describe Promethean mix. Force their purpose. Maintain hilt guards.
What do we have here?
Looks mechanics goggles. Plus 3 to logic.
Let us not dawdle. I won't stand for it.
Fane Blade, Modern Molecular Edges Banana, Diamantine, Dedicated. Serve as a stateroom. The generator machines will plan it as maintenance module room.
Keep your wits about you.
An area for receiving guests. So Lord Captain's quarters. Theodora von Velunkus. There be warpy stuff in the air.
Is there money to be made? Always keep your eye on the prize.
That's not good. That's very not good. See. His trial by on the large blood-drenched desk. The Archmilitan's corpse, still clutching weapons, slumped against one of the bulkheads.
Emperor, accept thy faithful souls. No! Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing. Not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee this?
Lord Captain, who would even dare? Unless that rat, Voidsphere.
I doubt it. Voidsphere wished humiliation and suffering upon Theodora, not swift death.
It could have happened in the heat of battle. Not to mention that Mort was here, and he would have protected Lady Theodora to the last. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Archmilitant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes.
I can look at things in my own way. If you find something that might bear the imprint of the killer, just give it to me, and I'll try to see what secrets it holds.
Examine Theodora's body. Clean closer to what caused death apparently. In the rogue trader's left was an auto pistol shot, an extraordinarily accurate one at that. Theodora's face bears an expression of surprise. The last emotion she experienced in life. Something on the floor catches the eye. A heap of blood-splattered parchments and scrolls that must have fallen on the desk. As leaning down for a close look, you notice something else. Small shards of glass scattered on the floor. Inspect the shards by the desk. It's difficult to say what exactly was broken. The object fell on the floor, and that is as much as you can ascertain. Upon closer examination, the shards appear iridescent rather than completely transparent, as if they've been submerged in promethium. Inspect the papers. Reports, accounts dispatched. You go over scrolls until you stumble upon a document that is starkly different from the rest. It's a handwritten letter signed with the initials XC, and itself a symbol that is vaguely familiar to you. And since a shiver down your spine, the offer of the letter is addressed to Theodora von Velunkus, signed it with the seal of one of the Holy Orders of the Emperor's Inquisition. Secret police of the Imperium that relentlessly hunts heretics, xenos, and other enemies of the humanity. Examine the Archmilitant's body. Opposite shot went straight through Mort's forehead, spraying the floor and the furniture around with blood, brain matter, and shards of his skull. Safety on the arch nets melting the weapon is off. Claire must have been a split second quicker than he. Here, what do these shards tell you?
I see streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Conrad and what is that? Ah! Something dark, enormous. Oh, this glass thing was something foul, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft.
So, Jen's remark is directed at the glass shards or Adira herself. Try touching Theodora. You might be able to see the killer through her eyes.
It doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories of objects, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul. And after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in the warp.
Alright, we had best be on our way.
Yes, the crucible of battle calls to me once more.
No, wait! We must see if we can find anything.
Adira, you can't bring her back. Let her go.
You'd give up so easily, old man? I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart. But you? Oh no. I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for murdering the Lord Captain. And when I do, that scum will regret the day they were born.
Can be equipped like here. Dogmatic Follower. Helmet of the Devoted Protector. Requires Dogmatic. Grants its wearer immunity to enemy critical hits for the first 3 rounds of combat.
Sins hidden in the heart turn all to decay.
Esteemed Theodora, a change in circumstances demand your immediate assistance in our mutual cause. Forthwith, upon receiving this letter and performing the necessary preparations of the crew, you are to depart for the Reichhead system. One of my acolytes, interrogator Henrix von Kullix, operates there at the present time. Upon your arrival in the system, you will, without delay, make contact with him and offer any assistance required of you, after which you will provide him passage to the Veribidus system aboard your ship. On footfall, the interrogator will remove him from your presence to await further instructions. Anticipating questions you may have, I will stress that the nature of the interrogator von Kullix's activities on Reich and Menoris is of no concern to you. If required, Van Kullix himself will disclose the details of his mission. May the Emperor's light be with you. Not everything can only be equipped by characters of certain conviction rate. Open your character to see which conviction your character follows. Both your character and their companions have their own convictions. You can check what conviction your character adheres to on the convictions tab. To change in direction and rank based on how the game's story develops and during important plot decisions. Dogmatic almost all the way. She's a little bit heretical. So, and their allies gain plus 20% to save combat simulant armament character after using it. Destroy the weak. For the first round of combat, everyone in the Rogue Trader's party gains plus a 25% chance to regain 1 AP after killing an enemy. However, triggering this effect immediately manifests psychic phenomena. Doesn't reset the cooldown of attacks and abilities. Dogmatic and Ironclast. After and 2 random allies start combat with temporary wounds equal to their resolve. Combat. Theodore's Rosary, where this amulet gains a +10 bonus to commerce in Lower Imperium. Trader's Cloak grants +5 fellowship for each enemy in a 2-cell radius.
Onward.
I always keep my options open.
Suffer not the heretic to live!
Combat servitors. Thank goodness it's already damaged. Light and medium armor. Armor protects the character from becoming damaged. Light and medium armor types are both available to you at the moment. The armor stat indicates what percent of becoming damage from enemy attacking the sword. This is the chances of the character wearing will pass a dodge test. The higher the dodge penalty, the lower the chance to dodge an enemy attack. The character in light armor dodges attacks more often, but takes more damage on hit. Medium armor absorbs more damage to the character's hit, but reduces their mobility and ability to dodge attacks. Some talents allow characters to use different types of armor more efficiently. Have obtained heavy armor. Unlike light and medium armor, heavy armor provides the ability to deflect damage. Deflection is a unique heavy armor stat that reduces damage taken by a specified flat amount. Heavy armor has a higher armor rating than medium and light armor, but also usually has a higher dodge penalty, making it hard to dodge an enemy attack while wearing it. And characters with the heavy armor proficiency talent can wear heavy armor.
My place is at the fore. Indeed, one fewer target. At your beck and call.
Armor 80%. This thing's gonna take a while to get through. The brace for impact.
On it.
Alright, so. Gains +3 exploits. 5 times perception bonus, more damage. Damage also increased by 10% project on the target. And this armor by -10 plus exploits removed times 4.
It's as good as done. I'll see to it personally.
Enemy status. Got enemies various abilities and features, and icon next to an enemy's portrait in case they're under the influence of some kind of effect. Click right mouse button to see more details. Just like one of the enemy. Right mouse on the portrait of the enemy themselves. Heavily damaged. Surface heavy damages. Damage, hit chance, and wounds are greatly reduced.
As the Emperor commands, strike is a prayer. Doubt is for the weak. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone! Faith without deeds is worthless.
Good hits.
I'll do it. On it.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
I serve the ruinous powers.
Embarrassing and what transferring combat. Checking the combat log. All actions performed by a character, their companions and names are recorded in the combat log in the bottom right of the bottom mid screen. So an or an action or more about it. Changed by -1 to 6. Okay.
I will do my duty. I took care of this one.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
So our fragment hung on trip to the light smiths or dark spots and prominent holes. Race of the Oblivious, where it gains +5 toughness if their intelligence is less than 35. Seems like a thing for you. I get a cloak. Level ups again. Or rank ups or whatever. After immediately inflicts one exploit on all enemies in combat, then makes a free attack against the target. The attack always hits. Till the end of combat, the target of this attack suffers minus 30% penalty to dodge and then minus 30% penalty to armor. Dang. Oh, getting a special arcade that can be used as a heroic hack or desperate measure. Available depending on the party's momentum value. Apply desperate measure. Attacks an enemy that is at full wounds. That attack deals plus 10 or damage to that enemy. Exposed weakness costs 0 AP. Whenever the operative triggers an exploit on an enemy, the operative gains plus 1 damage and plus 2 armor penetration till the end of combat. Only applies to the first projectile on a burst attack stacks. Exposed weakness also reduces enemy's toughness and willpower. Attack target affected by an exploit from a distance of 15 minus perspective. Attack deals plus 50% damage. Perception bonus is 10 or higher. Gain plus 1 AP and ignore enemy deflection. His perception bonus is 10 or higher. That's insane. Target of analyzed enemies has 2 or more exploits. The target suffers plus 1 additional exploit. Start the operative turns. The enemy with the largest number of exploits receives an additional exploit stack. 2 or more enemies are tied for the largest number of exploit stacks. One of those enemies is chosen at random. This is in half cover. Their cover percentage increased by 15%. This bonus doubled the operator does not move during their turn. Take Tide of Excellence. During Beach, immediately restores all AP and MP and gains plus agility bonus MP until the end of the turn. They do not lose MP after performing attacks, because the limit on melee weapon attacks this turn. When the enemy attacks the warrior's next melee attack against the enemy deals an additional plus 5 damage. It doesn't stack, but it can be reactivated after another attack made by either the same enemy or a different one. Warrior's melee attacks deal an additional plus 3 enemy damage to enemies that have no allies in adjacent cells. The warrior has less than 50% wounds. They gain plus 5 plus toughness bonus plus agility bonus. Critical hit chance. When the warriors attack, they gain plus 1 stack and % of slaughter until the end of combat. Start of their turn, the warrior gains plus 1 temporary wound for each stack. These temporary wounds cannot exceed 5. Warrior gains plus 1 damage reflected, and their parry chance increased by 25% of the warrior's total armor. Attacks opportunity deal minus 10 plus 3 times weapon skill bonus, less damage to the warrior. Moving within range of attacks of opportunity costs minus 1 MP less. Warrior gains plus 5 damage reflection against the first attack made by every enemy this combat. Area attacks deal an additional plus 1 plus strength bonus divided by 2 damage each enemy in their effect. So on an indirect effect, the damage selection is increased by plus 1 to the warrior's next turn. Damage dealt by charge is increased by toughness bonus with strength bonus. One ability to use from a distance of 5 or more cells. Praise and attack. The next warrior archetype ability costs minus 1 AP less. Suffer minus 10% penalty to hit their hit chance with ranged attacks, including area attacks against warrior for every enemy in a 1 cell radius around the warrior. Stacks up to 3 times. When no enemies adjacent to the warrior at the start of turn, the warrior's damage is increased by plus 2 times strength bonus for 1 melee attack. charge and push to increase the damage range attacks begins. Affecting enemies by 5 plus weapon skill bonus until the end of combat. Increase charge distance by 3 cells. The character in the current party is the same for short term, but each one of those against those or demonic creatures. Their allies gain half the bonuses and the highest power imperial characters. Wars, even small warp, are always 0. Including Xenos in the current party and plus 5 to the same characteristic as the ship from humanity's finest. Let's take thick skin for more survivability. Actually, no, he already has a decent amount of survivability. Let's go Desolation. We're knocking down tough enemies. Vortex enemy does that. So I already read through all that. Game of combat, Psyker's always gain plus 50% critical hit chance. First critical hit removes this effect. So under effect of at least 1 second power, gain an additional plus 5 armor penetration. Every 9th successful dodge and or parry by a Psyker and their allies combined grants the Psyker plus 2 additional AP on the next turn. First dodge attempt of every enemy in combat suffers a -7 plus 7 times Psyker psi rating penalty. Psi rating of 1. When Sucker uses a divination psychic power on an ally without any natural luck effect, the ally gains a natural luck. When the ally suffers a critical hit, becomes a normal hit instead, and the unnatural luck effect is removed. Elemental damage from any source other than Aftershock, the Dark suffers as much mental damage at the end of the next turn. Enemies that have taken damage from the Psyker at least once suffer a -20 penalty dodge resistance test against the Psyker until the end of combat. That failed a willpower resistance test against the Psyker's psychic powers will suffer additional direct damage every time they suffer mental damage till the end of combat. Anytime an enemy becomes a target of any particular psychic bear for the first time, this enemy suffers a -5 penalty in their intelligence perception, and the psychic intelligence perception increased by +2 until the end of combat. So it kills an enemy with psychic power, dealing more damage than the target's wound. The excess damage will be dealt to the enemy closest to the target. Zipcon targets of the psychic powers gain stacking -5% penalty to their dodge and parry until the end of combat. For every 6 use of psychic power by the psychic, all enemies gain stacking -5 penalty to all characteristics until the end of combat. These are from a blinded, stunned, and immobilized prone effects inflicted by the psychic and suffer 10% more damage. Imperial Walled. Go with pain channeling. Help with cleaning up water. So again, able to make a number of extra attacks equal to their weapon ready to fire. 2 using the weapon attack normally costs the least HP. Attacks do not spend AP. Until the end of the soldier's turn, their first attack against each new enemy automatic scores a critical hit. Soldier move reloads the current weapon. Adjacent ally, the soldier deals +5 more damage to enemies. Cover efficiency increased by 10% for full cover and +20% for half cover. Soldier deals damage, so critical damage is increased by 1% until the end of combat. Soldier deals damage to 3 different enemies. The soldier gains more damage for their next attack in the current combat. Reloading costs -2 AP less. First reload does not cost AP. Bonus double 3+ agility bonus. Wish the soldier is protected by cover at the moment of the attack. Shot for a soldier grants them +1 agility to the end of their next turn. Mission instead of intelligence is used to turn additional damage dealt with ranged attacks. Soldier's second attack action in turn deals 5 + 2 times agility bonus. Also for damage from the soldier's turn. Full cover against the enemy, soldier again +9 damage against that enemy, and then his attack does cover of the cover It's present at the moment when the shot is fired, even if it covers struck by the shot. The wounds has plus 10 ballistic skill and plus 2 MP. Have each burst attack deals additional damage equal to the weapon's current rate of fire. Legendary attacks. Soldier's medium armor does not reduce dodge. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna use that after 2 kills instead of 3. Damage by soldier's area attacks suffer plus 1 damage from the next attack that hits them. Soldier successfully dodge or use cover against an attack they gain guaranteed against that enemy. Imperial Walled. Medically melt attacks against demons and suckers deal an additional damage and gain that. Pinterest attacks and demons deal an additional plus 3 damage and gain. Devotee and their allies in area effect of Warhammer Fewer Settle gain plus Devotee's willpower bonus, minus 2 damage for single shots and attacks opportunity for 1 round. Stack chase Devotee and Twisties also to their effects of damage equal to momentum restored to the Devotee while using this ability. Devotee gains a plus 4 times willpower bonus to armor against attacks demons from warp damage. Devotee resolve is also permanently increased by willpower points divided by 2. Devotee has a 3% chance to ignore any enemy attack. Skill's unpredictable. I like crit.
Let us not dawdle.
To the bridge.
Is there money to be made?
The first sacrifice opens the eye. The second sacrifice draws its gaze.
Shoot him.
Help has arrived. Too late to change the tide, I'm afraid. But if there is any honor in you, we can at least die with dignity and give our lives for the rogue trader.
Lord Captain will not be joining us.
No. The rogue trader is dead. No matter what ritual Kunrad is performing there, the warp is too strong. I cannot withstand it. I feel my body changing with every second. The warp is ringing in the air. This is the end. We will perish in the warp, along with the warrant and all the dynasty's heirs. The enemy of humanity has triumphed.
Not with that attitude.
I've seen it before. We'd better get away from him. The changes are already accelerating.
Ship can still be steered out of the warp, but we must first restore communication between the bridge and the navigator's sanctum.
Then we have no right to bow our heads.
Seek on our river, clearly in the gloom of the bridge. The broken blade he is holding is stained with dark drops that seem to have a purposeless glimmer to them.
We are out of time.
Across the white smoke, they begin to turn sickly yellow. Ready weapons, we're to die this day, let's die with honor.
No. To die altogether is to allow the flame of the dynasty to perish in the dark. No. It will not be like this. Not today. The ritual will not be completed. I'll take care of it. And you, see to it that the void ship breaks free from the warp. Watch over our realm. And farewell.
Accursed traitor! A time will come when you will bleed for her ladyship Theodora's murder. Remember my words, for they are the vow of he who marches toward his death.
What? Theodora is dead? No, that can't be. Not now. I still haven't.
Your ritual won't be finished, heretic!
I think he finished the ritual.
No mercy to those who oppose von Valancius.
Let the blood flow.
Chaos spawn. What fun. Need status. Encounter enemies with various abilities and features. Like on accident and gets that influence. Exploit.
I won't compromise my principles.
I mean, there's no line of sight. So here, its armor isn't actually that high. Which is possible to shoot through there to clip that guy too.
Who, if not me?
Such is the will of chaos!
Bleeding. So if it's down to start of each turn, the effect can be removed by any source of healing.
I've never felt pain like this. Ill fortune has found me.
I will avenge.
I serve the ruinous
They suffer a certain number of injuries. These injuries are replaced with trauma.
Nothing.
Head trauma. Stealth and perception will fire fellowship reduced by 15. Points and damage are increased by +4 for every devoured ally.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Get wrecked, fools.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
High momentum.
To use his unique abilities called Heroic Acts or Desperate Measures, momentum is part of the action. Bar will increase or decrease. Having momentum will allow the characters to use the Heroic Act will value your add success points. By every partner can be used one or the other and only once in a single combat.
I will not.
At your beck and call. It will be done. Victory is imminent.
Death to the weak!
I don't need luck. I have strategy. On it. should feel honored to witness this.
Your end is near!
Hold on! Stay with us!
I will do like you.
Follow my lead.
It's as good as done. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Just a minor setback.
Stay vigilant.
It will be done. At your beck and call.
Still standing. Just barely. I'll make it happen.
That was a lot of suffering. Gloves endurance. When the wearer of these gloves get an injury or falls unconscious in combat, their allies gain +1 bonus to damage. Requires Ironclast Follower. Each rogue act used in battle increases the wearer's dodge by +20% to the in combat. Blade Shard. Blade made from mysterious metal that shimmers with unnatural colors. Those because if he falls, we're gonna need it.
Keep your wits about you.
Master Helmut must be found in order to begin the translation from the warp. He's the only person capable of coordinating the crew and guiding the void spell of this perilous dimension. Void ship bridge.
I always have a backup plan.
Bridge officer, there you are. Or not.
Always keep your eye on the prize. Rise to the top.
Ah, there he is,
or get
Master
left in
Helmsman.
the dust.
The heir is dead. He sacrificed himself to save the entire dynasty.
Old man, he was never going to make it. He was mutating right in front of us. You just ended his suffering sooner.
Let us not do...
Rivor, Master Helmsman, systems status report.
By the Emperor, it's the Seneschal, living and breathing. Oh, well, there's a tricky question. The old place is so overgrown with foul wickedry, we'll be scrubbing it off the vid screens for throne knows how long.
Need to re-establish contact with Navigator's Sanctums, their only chance of escaping from the warp. Seem to knock the officers out of the stupor, and the air around you fills with voices and commands being issued. Hear someone sobbing, one of the survivors buckling under stress. I will hard cuffs the crying officer without even looking.
Restore the Vox channel to the Navigator's Sanctum. Ready the crew. Prepare for translation to real space. You may call me superstitious, but translation is not a good time to disregard rules. You are the only one who speaks for House von Valancius. You may not be the Lord Captain, but you, more than anyone else, deserve to take her place in the ritual that is about to commence.
What must I do?
Take the Lord Captain's seat. Order the final preparations. Wait for the officers to report. Oh, blast it all to the void! Translation is a craft, not something that can be explained in a tick. Just go up to the throne, Master. These people are about to do the impossible. The least they deserve is the solace of seeing a figure sitting in the usual spot. Oh, please, hurry. Every second we waste is a terrible risk.
Ready, begin the ritual. The image before you is hazy, swinging sorcerous currents invisible to mortal eyes, as if whatever's beneath the green shell is constantly changing, still remaining same. It's taken the guise of Theodora, but the false rogue trader's eyes reveal the entity's true surreal nature. One of Theodora's eyes is engulfed in otherworldly fire, the other, a vessel of ancient evil, pours into you. The voice seeps directly into your brain without ever reaching your ears, and this voice booms with all the horrors of the warp.
Who are you to oppose destiny itself for the sake of lives that are not your own? So many threads stretch between you and other creatures of your world. Pitiful, worthless links, ready to shatter at the slightest touch. A muddled, erratic, pointless tangle.
Resonance emerges as the voices have already dug their foul roots into your consciousness. Well, later you realize all these voices are mirror manifestations of the same call that's finally invaded your mind. Save my people, do your worst, but you cannot stop me.
Lead them, mortal. Guide them. Persuade them. Force them to walk your path. You will need followers, for destiny is preordained.
The aspirant vowed to return with a trophy. A relic that could serve the edge of daybreak. That fate was assured, and the steps chosen. And yet, you broke the unbreakable when you took the aspirant's place. I see you. On the day when the final dawn rises over the Iron World, I see you by my side on that day. The day of my resurrection.
Your image is woven into the tapestry of things to come. I am the will of the weaver of destinies, and today I will weave a new thread of elusive possibilities and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out of the maw of irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. The thread that will guide you and the weapon of our return. Return to me.
The path is set, child of the dawn. The thread is woven. Follow it, servant of mine.
Seneschal, the Navigator's sanctum is silent. The Vox signal is stable, which means...
The Navigator gave his life battling the storm that nearly claimed the Von Valancius flagship. We will honor his memory, along with that of all who died this day.
Seneschal, will you tell us now? Who is that? Where's the Lord Captain?
As First Officer, it is my duty to inform you with the greatest regret and indelible sorrow that Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius is dead. May her memory never fade from the annals of the dynasty. By right of blood succession, and with the absence of other kin who could challenge this decision,
say nothing.
It is hereby declared that the successor to Theodora von Valancius is her heir, the rightful inheritor of the Warrant of Trade, and the title of Rogue Trader. The official ascension ceremony will be held at a later time. In the interim, have you lost your tongues? Hail your lord. It is because of his toils that we all still live. The deed is done, Master. My apologies. I meant to say Lord Captain.
The treachery of the Master of Whispers was fruitless, but victory came at a great cost. Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius perished along with her heir, Edelthrad, and thousands of crew members.
Only thousands? For the scale of Warhammer, that's not that many people.
Remained. For the second in line to the Rogue Trader dynasty survived. And through the strength of his resolve, saved those who were counting on him for protection.
Completed the prologue. Only took like 3.5 hours. I guess there's no voiceover. Deep shadows awareness can be seen on Albalard's face. The old officer's eyes are keen, they rake over you from head to toe. Your frowns most something than nods himself. Well then, your lordship. Cannot help but notice that the Seneschal does not know how to talk to you or where to begin. His hesitation brings a voluntary smirk to your face, as though someone else entirely is gloating at the old officer's confusion. Seeing your smile, Albalard pulls himself together. You must now hold your first officer's briefing in your new role as Lord Captain. Many of those who are about to join us on the bridge will also be their first briefing. We've sustained massive losses among the senior and middle-ranking officers. At some points, posts have had to be filled by the deputy. Others go unfilled entirely, and now the deck clans are deciding who will take over the leaderless crews. How did we come to lose so many officers? Tears the heretics were deliberately targeting the vessel's command. They knew exactly whom they were looking for and where they could be found, which is unsurprising, given that their informant on board was our own Master of Whispers. He grimaces. It was on the agenda for this meeting. Reports on the condition of the ship and crew. Lord Captain is not usually drawn away from her important affairs to attend such routine briefings. This is a unique situation. I'm still receiving updates from across the bridge, and they are not encouraging. Getting this bird to fly could take a gargantuan effort, insofar as you personally negotiating with the authorities of the system we are currently in. So prepared to hear a bevy of complaints and excuses, Your Lordship. Take this opportunity to get a good look at the officers who work 6 sticks away from the bridge. And they in turn will have the honor of beholding the visage of their Lord Captain. Succeed in tracking down Voyager? No, Lord Captain. All the commotion has trouble and cold. People still on the hunt for him, and any mutineers who may still be skulking on in the ship's many corridors. But frankly, I would not be surprised to hear that we are now one shuttle short. I'm afraid that will be some time before he answers for all he has wrought. I'm ready to start the briefing. Summon the officers. But Jester Abelard relays the order to the adjuncts at the far end of the magnificent chamber. A dozen pair of eyes born to you, the expressions revealing restraint, joy, curiosity, and wariness. Attention officers, you have been granted an honor. Lord Captain Lash von Valencius will personally conduct today's briefing. The most gracious Lord Captain is ready to hear your reports. Perhaps you would introduce those present, Abelard? As you wish, Your Lordship. Where it points to a tall, slender woman whose body seems to contain as many implants as it does flesh. Vegas Shuri Ota of the Tillman Line, our new Vox Master. It's an honor to serve Your Lordship. The Vox Master offers a deep bow. Aboard this vessel, you have at your command thousands of crew members and hundreds of officers and section chiefs. I am responsible for receiving, processing, and sending all communications between you and them, as well as external sources. I am your eyes and mouth, Lord Captain. Beside her is Revor, the Master Helmsman. He steers our ship along the course set by the Lord Captain and monitors the void around us, to ensure that we do not stray into an asteroid field or a pirate trap. A pale, almost transparent skin, large dark circles in his eye, and a dark expression that seems hardwired into his face gives us all a nod. Hello, Lord Captain. This your ship is good as home to me, so rest assured she's in safe hands. I'll die before I let her come to any grief. And lastly, our High Factotum Generous Donarok, who oversees supplies, procurement, and the general material well-being of the ship. Dressed in an embroidered jacket, the heavy-set man with oiled hair offers a biscuous smile and bows. It is an honor, Your Lordship. You may trust me with all mass concern your comfort. Everything will be done to the highest standard. In the second row, we have 3 officers charged with overseeing the ship's vital functions. The Master of Ordnance are responsible for the artillery aboard the Infernus Master, whose crews work to prevent and extinguish fires in the ship. And lastly, the Drives Master, servant of the Al-Messiah. 3 officers salute you. The Infernus Master does so with confidence, while the Master of Ordnance betrays nervousness. The Drives Master offers a salute resembling a dance upon the complicated manipulation of all the tech priest dendrites. Thank you, Ablar. Greetings to you all. Sorry, pleasure, Lord Captain. Wish to hear the Infernus Master's report. Yes, Lord Captain. Deference. I can report that all fires across all decks have now been extinguished. The preliminary damage assessment in terms of material losses and crew casualties have been complete. The results have been submitted to the Seneschal and the High Factotum. Post passed to him after the previous Infernus Master and his next 3 deputies expired in the line of duty. Remarks in a low voice pitched for your ears only. This lies managing well so far, he can take the heat, so to speak. High Factotum, how have you to report? We are toiling day and night to compile a full account of all of the losses. The task will require next to no involvement from your lordship. I will personally ensure that all damaged components are given into the tech priest's hands for attention and that all lost supplies are replaced. There is only one resource they cannot replenish single-handedly, and that is people. You have lost more than 2,000 crew members, and unfortunately, this number is not confined to the scum from the lower decks, which are easily replaced, but also includes trained professionals. We would be able to make up our losses on the nearest planet, Ryked Menoris. However, the planet, the whole system in fact, belongs to the Winterscale Rogue Trader dynasty. So then we cannot begin recruiting on the planet without first coming to an understanding with the governor. In that respect, I am powerless. Negotiations in this level are a matter for the rogue trader. Especially true, giving Caligos Winterskill's penchant for attacking first and ask the question later. And the kind of thick-skulled thugs he usually installs as governors on his planets. Drive Master, I'll hear from you now. Voice is stored by a Vox retranslator emerges from under the tech of the priest's scarlet hood. Lord Captain, the foes that set upon this noble void ship destroyed the repositories of hundreds of machine spirits. The great warp engine entrusted into my charge is unharmed, like the Messiah, but its spirit mourns its dead brethren. We have not yet identified a prayer protocol capable of assuaging its sorrow and anger. Great Sorrow must also report that the Injusir Prime, overseer and spiritual authority of all tech priests on board, fell in battle. Magos was betrayed by the little flesh that remained part of him, a most terrible loss. There is no one among the comrades aboard whose experience and comprehension of the sacred protocols equals that of the fallen Magos. Require replacement, and as soon as possible. I see, thank you. Priest bows her head. Master Helmsman, deliver your status report. Right you are, Lord Captain. To cut a long story short, the outlook is bleak. Ships sound more or less, but without our Injusir Prime and Navigator, who fell in battle, we have no way out of the system. If we try to set so much as a toe inside the warp, I don't know what will happen first. Our warp driving torn to pieces, or all of us melting into the bulkheads. Also, allow me to interject. When we arrived in the system, my crew followed standard protocol and conducted an account of all the available communication channels in the regions. One of them was a Navis Nobilite station. The station maintains complete Vox silence, but even its presence here inspires hope. To have located and navigated in the very same system is an incredible stroke of luck, a true blessing from the God Emperor. Sharp bolt lands through his claws in response to what you just heard. You understand that it's not the God Emperor should thank for such good fortune. The words of the demon that appeared before you during the translation to real space echo in your mind. I am the will of the Weaver of Destinies, and today we have a new thread whose possibility and fickle chances. The thread that will lead you out the mile of your irreversibility. The thread that will help you find the keys to salvation. If I were you, I'd grab this chance with both hands, or else you'll soon be eyeing up asteroids to use as your new residence. Slightly less shady news, we can now go around and around the system till our heads are swimming, as long as Promethean and supplies glass. So if any thick as low life comes sniffing around, we'll be able to take them out, so don't you worry on that score. Mr. Ordnance, do you have anything to report? No, my job's simple. Maintain the arsenal and fire where I'm told, but just ask anyone, we've got no able crew, Lord Captain. Mr. Ordnance, you forget yourself. So what? Comes the officer's hostile and bitter reply. It is as if a dam has burst inside and all his pent-up emotions are rushing out of him. The ship's in ruin, every second officer's dead. Now we've got a green Lord Captain who's supposed to lead us to void knows where. Silence. The bridge's magnificent glass panes seem to tremble in the force of Abelard's war. Enforcers, see his mutineer. Only one officer out of the whole lot has fallen to pieces. That's not bad at all, Your Lordship. I do humbly apologize on behalf of the entire crew. What would you have us do with Master of Ordnance? The former Master of Ordnance, I should say. Besides finding a placement that is, for we already have one lined up. Iconoclast, stand down, release him. I have no intention of punishing a man for a moment of weakness, not after the terrible attack we have endured. But says unblinkingly at the Master of Ordnance. Cease your sniveling, you disgrace yourself and your entire clan. Enough. The hysterics are over, let us resume. Soren stands up, wiping the blood from his broken nose. His face is a picture of shock, which as happened seems to be dawning on him only now, in the knowledge of the fate he so narrowly escaped. To summarize, we have sustained serious losses in crew members and we require a new Injusir Prime and Navigator. Is this all that is preventing us from continuing the voyage? Precisely, Lord Captain. But bear in mind this will not be the end of our trials. The ship system must be properly inspected for major damage, which can only be carried out at Footfall Station, home to the only dockyard in the sector. But we will never reach Footfall without first solving these three immediate problems. What can you tell me about the system in which we currently find ourselves? Let's see to the Vox Master on this point. This was told anyone. We are in the Rykad star system, and our voyage here was undertaken on the orders of your lordship's predecessor. There are 3 inhabited planets in the system, and our attempts to send Vox messages have produced confounding results. Nova's Nebulite system has not simply failed to answer, it seems to be maintaining total Vox silence. However, we did receive a distress signal from the prison planetoid in the system, and Rykad Minoris itself is also not responding to our helps. What was most alarming is that our augurs have intercepted signals on the surface that seem to indicate ongoing hostilities on the planet. The situation is not very encouraging, but without a navigator, tech priest, and new crew members, we won't be able to travel anywhere. Therefore, we must go to the planet and the nav Snowblight Station and find out when the voyage is going on. Thank you all for your reports. Dismissed. Assembled offers, Luccio's 1. Oh, so there's one other thing, a confidential matter of the utmost importance. Lady Theodora, as states your eternally esteemed predecessor, brought the ship here to the system for a reason. She was given a secret commission. You perhaps are wondering who has the authority to commission a rogue trader to do anything? I shall tell you, the Lord Inquisitor, the hand of the Emperor, the chief architect of his will in the Kronos Expanse. Came across a strange handwritten letter on Theodora's desk. It was signed XC. You're referring to the contents of that note, I presume? Yes, quite right. XC. Xavier Kalakzar. Theodora was to seek out the Lord Inquisitor's right-hand man, one Henrix von Kullux, an interrogator, you understand? All I know is that he is somewhere in the system, that we must find him and offer him whatever assistance he requires, and then deliver him to Footfall in the Forbidden system. Finding without any more information to go on will be difficult indeed, but an Inquisitor is an important individual. Theodora, the using the system, either the Navis Snowblight or the Governor of Rykad Minoris, may know something. That is all of it, your lordship. You have a great deal of work ahead of you, but it's a mere taste of the daily burden of a rogue trader, so you must take up the reins of the Von Valencia's Proctorate. It gives you no scrutinizing look as if trying to gauge how long he will hold out under this mountain of problems. His face softens slightly, and it seems he's about to offer some words of encouragement. Dira, Sister Argenta, explain yourselves. Grimly nods toward Dira. The Psyker is suffering some ailment or dark madness. You insist on seeing the rogue trader. I judge that it would be unwise to leave her unsupervised. I was also hoping to approach you with a personal request, but I can wait. Speak with me when you have time, rogue trader. Dira's glazed eyes rove over those a simple one word burst from her lips. Daybreak. Adira, come to your senses. Damn it. Adira presses her fingers to her temples in desperation. Your lordship, here's the thing. I was trying to see the immediate future, and it hit me so hard my head's still spinning. Something very strange is heading our way, and I can't make out what it is, no matter how hard I try. A single word is all I can make out. Daybreak. Or maybe it's dawn? And it's ringing and ringing like an echo, like a bell. But if it's daybreak, then why is it so dark? Can I extract any information of value from a single word? Can you tell us anything else, Mr. Stolas? No, not yet anyway. The voices are going berserk while shouting at once. I can't make any sense of it. As soon as I know or sense anything, I'll report it, alright? Lord Captain, if you want me to take a closer look into your future, find me on the bridge, and we can talk. Theodora was well served by my whispers on many occasions, and I'm sure you would benefit from them as well. Sucker's been lip stretching to a wry smile. There's nothing else of value to report. The declares briefing concluded. It's time to get to work. And with that, I'm going to be ending stream with the prologue completed. And that was a lot. So, yeah. That's the prologue completed. And, oh, that's strange. Anyways. Oh, I guess I was stuck looking out the window. But, that's gonna be it for stream today. Completed the prologue, got things done. Almost lost that final battle because that Chaos Spawn just decided to get super lucky and just beat the crud out of my people. But thank goodness critical hits of like 40 damage just say no to its existence. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will be continuing this come next Thursday. Going down to the planet, talking to the crew, all that sort of stuff, going into what I'm assuming is Chapter 1. Yeah, Chapter 1. Yep. And so, yeah. That's gonna be it for today. My next stream will be Sunday with Monster Hunter Rise. Wait. Yes, Monster Hunter Rise. And, why is there blood on that? It shouldn't be in the warp. Shouldn't be in the warp. Wall shouldn't be bleeding. Anywho, that's gonna be it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good time whatever time zone you're in. Remember to save the game. And yeah. Bye for now.